mute yourself because you can't see my screen. That's a good thing to say. You don't know. Today I was on the phone with GoToMeeting people for an hour and a half because it wasn't working. But we've got it back up and running. We were almost this close to going over to Zoom. But they figured it out, and we're rocking and rolling. We have also upgraded the processor on my computer. Corporate seemed to think that was the thing that was causing my charts to fail because the streaming and the pulling of the charts were causing too much of a drain. So we went from an i7 to an i5 to an i7. So we'll see. So where was I with the? Anyways, our tools are super accurate. Trading, I find, is terrific fun, and hopefully you will find that too. It's the kind of the best job I've ever done. I wish I found it 30 years ago, but in any case, you start where you're at and move forward from there. So our tools are very, very accurate, and that's one of the reasons we do these live webinars. Is one as a teaching moment to so that you can learn the skill from an experienced trader, and two, in case you're not convinced, to get you convinced that the tools work, that this is real, it's life-changing, and it's a terrific thing. So with that, we need to start by listening to this guy. So let's do that.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
You know I don't like this guy, but I'll give him this. He's got a nice voice. He's got like kind of a nice, peaceful, calming voice. So he does have that going for him. Another one of the advantages of why our program is great is because we do these live trades. And up here on the yellow portion of the schedule, we have what's available to lights, and down here on the green portion, we have what's available to our regular members. You can see regular members, we do a trade in the morning, we do a trade in the evening, and for those of you who are real junkies, they do another paid trade at 8 o'clock with Dale. Dale is actually one of the coaches who trained me. He is very good also. We're doing this tonight. We'll be doing it again tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern, and then you'll roll right into your intro to coaching session. So if you, in the beginning, you get somebody who knows what they're doing, that you can follow along and copy the trade. And historically, if you follow these trades, they do about 150 pips a week on them. So follow the trades. There's a half a dozen different guys who do them. So you'll see different trading strategies and techniques. Technique that I use in this trade, we are going to use two techniques, something called the thick orange line trade. And that's kind of at the top of the hour. It's a little scalp. And then we use what I call the 10-point trade, which basically we're trying to get all the lines to line up a certain way. And when they do, we've got a good setup. I like to trade off of a little checklist, kind of like a pilot's checklist. Before I come online, I check to make sure that the green charts and CoinX or MetaTrader 4, if you're using Turnkey, is connected and live. Every day I like to review any bad trades that I made so that I can figure out what I did wrong and correct them. And to be a good leader, I am going to start doing that here in these sessions. So we'll take a quick screenshot. So on the chance that the trade is bad, the next day we'll go back and take a look at how I might have misread the signal. We are technical traders, and what that means is that we're basically trading off of the price movement of the price action of the currency pair. Our tools are very good at picking up when they turn and what direction they're going in. However, news also impacts currency pairs. And to know what that news is, we go to forexfactory.com, and it gives us a little summary of what that news is. Right now, we're at 7:30 Eastern. It breaks the news down into 3 categories. Yellow is low impact, orange is medium impact, and red is high impact. So tonight, the Australian dollar, the Royal Bank is going to make a statement on interest rates. That interest rates, any movement on interest rates impacts the market. Any trade we take now, we've got a good 5 hours, 4.5 hours till we hit this, and I would expect any trade we're taking will be closed before we get here. And then we really got nothing else to worry about till tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the USD. This might impact tomorrow's trade, but shouldn't impact anything we're doing now. So with that, let us get into our trading sequence. This chart that I've got up is a chart called the Light 6 Majors, which you all have. I have also cloned it 3 times to make other versions with different pairs. And basically, this first chart, I call it the Composite Chart because it shows us 6 different currency pairs, all on a 1-hour candle. I find on this chart, I like to I myself trade off of a 1-hour chart, or I use the 1-hour chart as the initial setup. So on the 10-point trade, I start with the middle chart, the majors and minors. The red and green lines are the major indicators. The blue and gray are the minor indicators. The red horizontal line is the oversold line. When those lines are down below that red line, that means the market's oversold. But when the market's oversold, that's a good time to buy. Likewise, when the lines are above the blue line, this blue line is the overbought line. So when the market's overbought, that's a good time to sell. And now our strategy is to find out when we see the lines overbought or oversold, and then we want them to be turned a certain way so that we get our timing right. So here on the Australian US dollar, we're in the middle of the channel, so we're going to pass. I want to catch it down below the red line. So when I catch it below the red line, I'm going to be able to get the run through the channel. So we've made this kind of very visually easy to figure out. Below the line or above the line. That part doesn't take much skill. We're not going to trade the Euro US dollar. Reason we're not trading it is because the volume's a little bit slower now on both of those pairs. Euro or the dollar, it's the end of the day, and the euro, it's in the middle of the night, approaching midnight, 1 in the morning. So there's not many people trading the euro. Here, we consider the Australian dollar because it's becoming morning in Australia. So here we've got one active pair. Pound dollar, nope, it's out of the kind of the current market time. U.S. Canadian dollar out of the market time, U.S. Swiss franc out of the current market time, U.S. yen. It is approaching morning time in Japan. So this is something we could trade, even though it's the end of the day in the U.S. dollar. Our lines are in the middle of the channel, so nothing there. And it's really not agreement here either. Majors are kind of going sideways. Minors are coming down. Let's go to the next pair. So what I've done is I've cloned this and then just changed the pairs. You clone it, you go in, down here, clone, and it creates a new one. Then you just rename it. And then you just pop in the names of the new pairs up here. So Euro pound, we're off time. Australian dollar yen. We didn't quite get oversold. It started to come down and turned. Majors are going up. Interestingly, the minors aren't. The minors have not. They're kind of going sideways. There's three things that I'm looking for. One, that we're oversold. Two, that all the lines are pointing up. We don't have that on the minor. And then three, that we have something called double cross, whereas the green line has come over the red and the gray line has come over the black, and we don't have that here. I don't like to cut corners. You cut corners and you get less, your accuracy rate goes down. And the key to doing this well is having that good accuracy rate. My accuracy rate is about 80%. I know plenty of people who are up closer to 90%, and eventually I will get there. Over Euro Canadian out of market, Australian New Zealand dollar. We've got conflict in the indicators. Minors are kind of going down and sideways. Majors are going down and sideways. Minors are going up. So we don't have agreement here. So I'm going to pass.
All right, Paul.
Yes.
Do you mind if you just refresh your pages? It seems like it's stalled.
Seems like it's stalled. Okay. Well, thank you for giving me that upgrade. When you say it's stalled, why is it? Your chart's different than mine?
Yes, it's different.
Huh. All right. So even though I refreshed it before I came on, it is good to refresh it again. That's curious. Okay. Thank you. So let's just, we're getting, all right. So these guys are going up, but they're just exiting the channel. We're not trading this guy. We've got everybody's sideways here. Pound yen, we're more than halfway through the channel, so I'm going to hold off. Euro Australian dollar. We are oversold, below the red line. Minors are going up, majors are going up. And I've got the double cross where I've got the gray line on top and the green line on top. So I've got 3 points here. Only thing that I am not crazy about here, but we're going to keep doing our analysis, and I'll tell you why I'm not crazy, is I always look at what the steepness of the green line on the majors is. And the steeper this guy is, the better the trade. So like if you look at the steepness over here on the pound yen, oh, I love this. This is great. Nice and steep. And the lines are all clustered together. Steepness isn't as good here, but everybody's going up. So that's when I get everybody going up, then I go to the second part of the analysis, which is what are the TNTs doing? And each of these lines are kind of measuring something at a different speed. And ideally, I want to get three or four of these lines telling me the same thing I'm seeing here. And I can tell you right now that we don't have that. The orange lines are directional, so the 2 orange lines are going down. So there's no way I'm going to get 3 out of 4 here. I'd want both orange lines going up, and the blue lines are inversely related. So when blue is going up, that means down, and blue going down, that means up. So only one of the lines here are telling me buy. I want 3 of the 4 telling me buy. So I got nothing here. So I'm going to pass. So let's go to the next pair. And just be sure, let's just refresh. And that new processor. You know what I want to do while we're doing this? Control Alt. Where is it? Control Alt. Delete. I'm going to pop up the task manager. And I'm going to stick them over on the side. Oh, all right. We're at 67% of the CPU. This was like hitting 100 all the time. So I'm going to put it over to the side and keep an eye on it. So we're streaming quite a bit, and now we're only at 60%. So our chart shouldn't kind of pan out on us. Canadian dollar, yen. Oversold going up. I like the trade. If it isn't halfway, we are just beyond the halfway mark, which makes me sad because the steepness here is great. Everybody's going up. They're clustered. So I got 3 points here. But interestingly enough, if I go up to the TNTs, 2 orange lines going up, and they're actually going up pretty steeply. So I got 2 points here. Dotted blue, I'd want my dotted blue coming down. He's going sideways. Thick blue going up, which means down. So I only have 2 of the 4. I want 4 of the 4. So even if I wanted to take this, even at the halfway mark, I don't have all the points here. And I've got kind of sideways pressure, but the green line is on top. Green line crossed on top. Usually when the green line crosses on top on the pressure, you'll get a candle, a green candle, which you have here. Again, we don't have the full setup. So let's just keep going to see if we can find the full setup. Euro NZD, middle of the channel, so we'll pass. Pound NZD overbought, going up, so nothing there. New Zealand yen, we're definitely more than halfway. Here we only had 2 of the lines over the halfway. Here we got 3 of the lines, so I'm not even going to think about that one. Gold with the dollar. Now gold is interesting because gold trades everywhere. So you can kind of consider that. So we've got 3 points here. What don't I like about it? We don't have great steepness, but it is kind of going down. The red's on top. Miners are going down. 2 orange lines are going down. Dotted blue going up. So I got 3 of the 4 here. I've got very light up pressure, almost sideways, with the red on top. So I have 7 points. 3 from the majors and minors. Oversold, coming down. Everybody's coming down at double cross. 2 orange lines coming down. Dotted blue going up. So that's 3. And I get the red line on top. So I get 7 points. So what happens when I get 7 points? I will go to, I want to figure out where my support and resistance is and what the trend is. So to figure out what the support and resistance is, I am going to open a new chart. Let's see here. I'm going to take an existing chart and I'm going to make it AUD. Oh, what's the gold symbol? I got to write this down. XAU. XAU USD. All right, so now we'll go, I'm going to make this XAU USD. I'm going to crunch up the chart. Now, in the Trader Lite program, we don't really have you do support and resistance. But support and resistance are spots where the candles seem to naturally stop. So I'm going to go back a few months and I'm going to drop a line in and I'm going to try to place it on spots where I see the candles seem to naturally stop. All right, so right in here a little bit, in here, right here a little bit. Then I'm going to put a couple lines above and a couple lines below. And this is kind of a little bit of an art in terms of dropping these lines in. On the Euro US, which I principally trade, these tend to be about 30, 40 pips apart. On gold, I don't know. All right, so we've got some stopping in here, over here. I'm going to take one more above. I drop the line in and then I kind of move it to where I think it seems to be stopping. And right in here, in here a little bit, in here. So once I see that, then I'm going to pull it back out so I can look at it better. But wow, look at this day. How much of a move was that? Just, excuse me, for curiosity's sake. Oh, excuse me. Wow. A 5% move in one day. All right, so let's move this back so we can see it a little better. So what's the trend here? What is the trend? Well, up until like 3 days ago, we were kind of trading in a downtrend. You know, from here to in a downtrend. It shot back up and it's staying in here and it's going up a little bit. I guess maybe you could argue this is a little bit of an uptrend. A little bit up, pull back, then up again. Small uptrend over the last couple days, but it's kind of broken out of the channel here. The reason I want to know the trend is it helps me figure out how many pips I want to take. So if I'm trading with the trend or against the trend, if I'm trading against the trend, I'm going to take less pips. So when looking at this, then I want to know how much room do I have? How much room do I have to each spot? So 3.5, 9.4, 9.4 versus 3.5. And if we were to 4.4. If we were to go to where it's stopping here, you might argue that there's a little bit of a resistance line. Right there. So it'll be 4.4 down to this guy. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to see if there's support. We had the signal, so I want to see if there's support for that signal. So what I'm going to do is I want to look at a full chart. And when I say a full chart, I want to look at I want to see what the charts are doing under different time periods. So this was the original chart we were looking at, where we had the signal, we're overbought, oranges are coming down, blues going up, and we've got red on the top here. I want to see what's happening with the 2-hour chart and the 4-hour chart. Basically, I'm looking to see that if we're overbought here, I want to see the 2-hour chart overbought and the 4-hour chart overbought. And if I see that, even if we don't have the double, we do have the double cross here, although this guy's going sideways. We don't have the double cross here. They're not pointing down yet. But if everybody's overbought, I've got a much higher probability that when everybody's overbought, it's going to be coming down. Just the question is when. So say this signals off a little bit, eventually they will be coming down. I've got up pressure with the gap closing, which signals to me that the red line is going to cross over soon. Again, up pressure with red on top. So I have everything we need here for a good trade. I like this. Only thing I don't like is that we're trading a little bit against the trend. But let's go ahead and we'll take a sell on the XAU USD for what is it, 4.4. So I'm going to call up my CoinEx. This is a demo account. I am going to look for the symbol. I don't have the symbol open yet down here, so I'm going to go to File, New Chart, and I'm going to look for XAU USD. Wasn't in this group. Actually, he's going to be in the metals group. So instead of Forex, we're going to go down to metals. XAU USD. And we are going to, I'm going to make it a 1-hour chart. And I'm going to click New Order. I'm not going to worry about the stop loss or take profit. My volume is going to be a function of what's in my account. I've got 10,700 in here, so I'm going to move the decimal spot over 4 places. So I'm going to take a lot size of 1, and this is going to be a market sell. So now that it records it, it's down below here. I'm going to go ahead and right-click and go to Modify. And we were going to take, let's see, 4 times that's going to be 20. I'm not sure about the math on the XAU. I haven't done it in a while. So let's just see. I'm going to see where this puts us. Whoops, that's not right. What happened? So I want to bring it right down to here. And let me just see. That's a bit too much. I'm going to come down to about here. What does that put us at? 66 to 64. So that's 4. So if we went 4 and we wanted to do 20, we're going to go 68 to 80. We can go to 80, 88. So we could go a little higher. We go 4 times 4, 16. So 16 is, now we can move this just a hair bit up and be at a 4 to 1. Usually I like to go two support and resistances away, but I tend to be a little more aggressive. So we're going to just use a 4 to 1 on this. It hasn't traded up here in a week, so we should be okay. So we took a sell on XAU USD with a take profit of 1764.41, 1764.41, with a stop loss of 1781.41. And then let's just go back and take a look and see what how anything has changed, if it has changed. We're going to refresh here. Oh, sorry. I needed to change the symbol. Miners are starting to go down, but what we're really interested in is what the majors are doing. The majors are a little bit more sideways. And our 2 hour and 4 hour haven't changed much. The gap is closing here. It's starting to the pressure starting to circle down. So I think we're going to be all right. All right. So to recap, we did a 10-point trade today on gold and the dollar, where we are going to take 4. Again, I'm not sure how they measure. It's not pips. It doesn't look like the way they do it, but take profit is a 1764.41. Stop loss is 1781.41. We will see you tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. and by that time, this trade will be closed. All right, great. Thanks so much. See you then.